And welcome to our Tuesday edition of the SVG-TV News and Sports. That should be Tuesday, December 3rd edition. I'm Carol Cato with the details. The Witness Special Measures Act was passed in Parliament on Monday after receiving unanimous bipartisan support. The act will provide for applications to be made to the court for a witness anonymity order. The act also provides giving evidence by live link, video recorded evidence, the taking of evidence from outside St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and prohibiting the defendant in certain cases from personally cross-examining particular witnesses. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, in giving support for the act, says it is important that the laws of the land are constantly amended to ensure the safety and security of all citizens.
The extent of the movement of peoples, the question of the seriousness of transnational crime, the matters related to also how can we utilize modern communications technology, video recording, for instance, witnesses, not just here but overseas, because we have some measures already for recording in our own jurisdiction, and we have passed laws not too long ago in that regard.
Opposition Senator and lawyer Vinette Frederick also contributed to the passing of the Special Measures Act, putting on record her support for it as well as her party's.
We agree that this is a very important piece of legislation. And we expect that the issue of constitutionality, that was the substance of the lively debate, will be tested before the court. We anticipate that some other practitioner will take the opportunity to test and see whether constitutionally the question that caused us quite a bit of to and fro will be settled.
While making his contribution to the debate, government senator and lawyer Jomo Thomas says that the legislature has to be particularly careful in the kind of powers it gives to the executive body.
And I know that all of us in here may think, well, oh, this is a splendid executive and we would not overreach and we would not go further than we want to go. But this is a law that is going to sit on the books, and we can never know whether there could be a crusading prosecutor, whether there can be a crusading attorney general, whether there can be a crusading director of public prosecution who can go after persons in a way which may affect and assault their constitutional rights. So that's just my caution, having picked up on some of the points which came out of the select committee. But I do believe, Mr. Speaker, that this bill commends itself in very special ways to enhancing the security of our citizenry. It helps overall in maintaining fairness, in that it talks about the things that we ought to do, that we need to do to ensure free trial, to ensure the rule of law.
Senator Thomas adds that the passage of the act, which includes the use of technology, is a good sign that SVG is moving along with the modern times.
This bill is coming one criminal term too late for a defendant that I dealt with only recently, because there was a case that I was defense counsel in which a defendant had a very important witness who resides in Toronto, Canada. He had very important and, in my estimation, persuasive evidence as to the death of someone, and we had raised this issue at the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal, looking at our laws, says, well, go try counsel, but there's nothing in our statutory laws that allow for this person. We had the person lined up to speak, but now that we are moving to have evidence by video link, it would mean that another defendant in such a situation with such a witness could have someone sitting in Toronto or in Istanbul or in Johannesburg and give evidence.
In a media release, meanwhile, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions welcomes Parliament's enactment of the Witness Special Measures Act 2013. It noted that the new law is very significant in many ways and is designed to enhance the delivery of justice and the rule of law. According to the DPP's office, the Witness Special Measures Act is a significant step forward in ensuring that there will be witnesses who will testify, and in doing so will strengthen the rule of law and the delivery of justice here. Highlighting that witnesses are the foundation on which the criminal justice system is constructed, the media release states that by providing a safe, secure and protected environment to permit witnesses to testify, the new act stands as a landmark in the system. Attaining the goal of zero new HIV infections here is one that relies less on government's efforts and more on the individual's actions. That's according to Minister of Health Clayton Bergen in his address in recognition of World AIDS Day, celebrated globally on December 1st every year. This year, the theme is Getting to Zero. Zero new HIV infections, zero discrimination, zero AIDS-related deaths. Minister Bergen says that Vincentians are the ones who can make the realization of the goal possible, as the professionals in his ministry continue to play their part in meeting this goal by creating an environment in which becoming infected with HIV is less likely.
I believe that the highlight of our efforts to address stigma and discrimination this year was the work done by the Department of Labor and the Employers Federation in launching the HIV and AIDS workplace policy with the support of the International Labour Organization. 11 enterprises initialed the Memorandum of Understanding with the government to implement the workplace policy. They have all participated in capacity building sessions and are implementing activities to tackle the challenges of HIV and AIDS. In my capacity as Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, I thank all of the participating enterprises for recognizing their important role in the national response to the epidemic, and I look forward to your continued support. I also request that you encourage your other colleagues to come on board.
The health minister says if Vincentians living with HIV/AIDS access the necessary care and treatment available free of charge, SVG will be on its way to realizing the goal of zero AIDS-related deaths. Bergen, however, pointed out that they understand the negative effects of stigma and discrimination and how these factors hamper the ministry's efforts. Hence, they have also been focusing on achieving zero discrimination.
The treatment program, which was started in 2003, continued to provide antiretroviral drugs free of charge to all clients, with no stock out of drugs throughout the year. There was an increase in client enrollment at the clinics. Our partners, the Caribbean HIV and AIDS Alliance, has been providing human resources to assist in increasing client adherence to treatment and clinics appointments. The clients continue to receive consistent and professional services from our psychosocial team staff. Additional healthcare providers have been trained in the clinical management of HIV, resulting in very little interruption in the provision of weekly clinical services. Laboratory services were strengthened, and the provision of services including CD4 testing is offered locally, while viral load and DNA testing are both being done in Barbados.
According to the minister, the Caribbean is working diligently to become the first region in the world to achieve the elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV/AIDS. He said it is his hope that after more than 3 decades of the HIV/AIDS epidemic, persons will no longer be afraid of knowing their status and to seek the appropriate health care and treatment, and also to understand the issues surrounding the disease. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is getting Mexican assistance to build capacity in the local fruit and vegetable sector. Mexican vegetable consultant Dr. Humberto Lopez Delgado is currently in the state to provide training and advice in vegetable production. Dr. Lopez Delgado comes from the National Institute of Forestry, Agriculture, and Livestock Research in Mexico. His one-week visit follows a request for technical assistance from this country's Ministry of Agriculture to the Mexican government. While here, Dr. Lopez Delgado will train the staff of the Ministry of Agriculture and farmers who produce vegetables in both open fields and greenhouses. He will assess the current operations of the large greenhouse farmers and make recommendations targeting improved efficiency and in vegetable production. The visit ends this Friday with a meeting of all stakeholders to evaluate the fruit and vegetable sector and to plan the way forward. This sector is one of the components of the BAM project being funded by the European Union to develop and modernize agriculture in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Under this component, greenhouse parks will be established to help address the production challenges faced by vegetable producers, including the seasonal nature of production. These parks will be established in 3 selected areas: Macmillan in the Montreal area, Dandrade in Orange Hill, and in Richmond in North Leeward. The Tourism Authority and local Hotel and Tourism Association need to have a better working relationship. We have that and more local stories when the SVG-TV Evening News continues. Welcome back to the Evening News. Still on the local scene, a better working relationship is being called for between the local Hotel and Tourism Association and the Tourism Authority. Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Tourism Authority, Glenn Beach, made the call at an awards ceremony hosted by the association, recognizing some of its members for years of service. Beach, a former Minister of Tourism, said tourism should be considered as the bread and butter of this country, and as such should be taken seriously.
When you look at the relationship between the Tourism Authority and the Hotel and Tourism Association, while it is a decent one, there's always room for improvement. I think on too many occasions, for example, when we require assistance from the Hotel and Tourism Association, from the private sector, it's the same people that give assistance all the time. And I think more of the stakeholders need to come forward, need to take part in what's going on, especially when we have things that would benefit them on a whole.
President of the Hotel and Tourism Association, Kim Halbick, thanked the various stakeholders for the support over the years in the thrust towards making SVG tourism the best.
Know that only through working together will the tourism business move forward. And we must remember that tourism is everybody's business, from the taxi driver to the school teacher. So everyone has a part to play. And with our new airport coming, we have our work cut out for us.
Meanwhile, we hear that the Ministry of Tourism is looking at the possibility of having SVG as a destination for southern cruises. According to Minister of Tourism Cecil Mackey, a representative is currently in Trinidad and Tobago holding discussions on the matter.
Currently, we benefit from the northern cruise, but if we can work hard on getting the southern cruise line in place, I think we will continue to see those numbers rise as well in the very near future.
And some 7 awards were presented at the 2013 Tourism Awards and Cocktail. Abigail Cato received the award for Immigration Officer, while Clinton McLeod was honored for being the best taxi driver. The Best Tourism Site Award went to the Vermont Nature Trails, and the Flow Wine Bar received the top honor for the best restaurant. TUI Marine's Simon Carey was awarded for being the best in the marine sector, with Fitzroy Glasgow of Mariners Hotel collecting the award for the best in the accommodation sector. Marketing Officer in the Ministry of Tourism, Jacqueline English, was named as the 2013 Tourism Authority Employee of the Year. The Kingstown Preparatory School secured a hat-trick on Saturday, winning the annual Kingstown Cooperative Credit Union's KCCU quiz competition. The school amassed 23 points to beat the Evesham Methodist School, that should be the Evesham Methodist School, into second place, and the Bowley Government School into third. The Belair Government placed fourth, while fifth and sixth places went to the Fitzhughes Government and Connery Government Schools, respectively. The top students received a cash prize of $250 each, trophies, and a KCCU account with $25. President of the KCCU Board of Directors, Jerome Deschong, says his organization sees education as a vital part of this country's development. He added that since the inception of the competition in 2004, won then by the Richland Park Government School, there has been a steady improvements over the years.
Kingston Cooperative Credit Union places great emphasis on our young people because you are our future leaders. As a result, our education budget is geared towards promoting activities like this one. Richland Park Government School won the first competition in 2004, followed by Brighton Methodist School 2005 and 2006. The Galway Government School won it in 2007 and 2008. The Calicut Government School won it in 2009. Valley Government School won it in 2010. And the Kingston Prep School won it in 2011 and 2012.
The KCCU Education Committee members said the competition forms part of the credit union's corporate social responsibility.
This competition not only seeks to identify a winner, but to expose the students to a broad range of school and cultural topics and to enable them to improve their ability to cooperate and work in teams. It also encourages students to become more proactive in performing research, thereby making a transition much easier in preparing for projects at their secondary and tertiary education levels.